Bliss, everyone. Welcome to a brand new weekly reading here on my channel. Rissa Vibes here, aka Readings by Rissa. Let's make sure I'm not crooked over here. My little phone set up here. Okay. Hi, everyone. Hopefully you're doing well today. It is Sunday, September 15th. I am like 2 months ahead today. September 15th, I just got out of meditation, got some great spirit messages for this week. Really deep meditation, so much so I lost my track of time for a second. So we are here 9:15 to 9:22 for a weekly reading of this entire week's energy, astrology, spirit messages, and cards. I am Rissa Vibes, aka Readings by Rissa. So excited to connect with you as always. And if you don't know me, I am an intuitive and I do many readings, energy clearings, and I also teach intuition as well. And so I do different retreats and workshops and classes and gatherings and events to help you get more in tune with your spirit, more aware of your power and manifestation, and activated in a higher vibration for your purest positive potential. So I'm so excited to connect with you here for a weekly reading where I'll be going over all of the energy of this week. Let's do a quick review of last week though, just to get an idea of what our cards were. And you know what? I did not write down my review cards. So I'm going to try to remember them. I can't remember them. So we don't need to do a review of the cards. Let's do a little review of the energy of last week. Okay, so we had the Pisces full moon last week, which allowed us to really feel into more of our awareness of our intuitive body, our emotional body, picking up on subtle vibrations, allowing ourselves to also really heal through that awareness and through that wisdom. We had the 999 portal last week as well that opened up on the 9th. So we felt this incredible urge to close, get closure on things, close the door on certain karmic energy, karmic contracts and things that were finally ending, feeling the completions of energy that has been prolonged over the year, feeling accomplishments and activations of wisdom from all that we have learned throughout the year. And we really started the beginning of the end of the year last week with the weekly reading on the 9th to the 15th. So today we are activating a lot of our awareness of how to integrate those energies from last week and move forward in what we have learned and what we are doing to continue to heal, clear, and revitalize ourselves for the remainder of the year before we hit 2020. What a powerful year 2020 will be. I feel like already just thinking of the number, feeling into that vibration of the double 20s is going to be very powerful. So we'll talk a little bit about that when it gets closer, but for now, let's talk about this week's energy. And I just want to say hi to everybody who is joining live. Thank you all for joining live. I have 11 people live and 1 like, so it says 111 on my screen right now, which I think is really great. And I just encourage you all to share these readings with those who you feel like need the guidance, who need the extra boost of energy every week, who need that kind of reminder to go inward and to connect with themselves and their higher selves and their spirit. So if you know anybody who needs some of that energy every week or just is curious about energy and understanding spirituality from that scope, then please refer them to these readings, because I think that it's so important to be able to have a community where we can really connect live every week, Sunday at 1:11 p.m. Central, and we can really connect with how we're all feeling, what we're going through, how we're processing what we maybe just went through, and also just provide a safe and sacred space to not feel alone in this exploration of our spirit together. So I encourage you sharing, liking, commenting, and all of that good stuff of these readings, okay? All right, so that was a quick review. Let's go ahead and talk about this week, because this week is going to be a little bit of an extension of last week's energy, but also introducing something new. I want to just review real quick, since it's towards the middle of the month now, what our monthly card was from the annual reading that I did on the 1st of the year, January 1st of 2019. I did a full card spread, 1 card for every month, and the monthly card for September is Hope. And so we're feeling into hope this month and this September, and feeling into the awareness of the importance of hope in the endings of our year, because we are entering, like we said, with keep saying November, with September, we're feeling into really the end of the year and the beginning of the end of the year. I think November is kind of the middle of the end of the year, and then of course December, the end of the year, right? So we're feeling into this kind of process of completions with this 9/9 portal of last week, really allowing us to reflect on things, really allowing us to feel closure, allowing us to process any emotions that haven't been processed. And in that regard, hope is so important because sometimes we have that nostalgia. In fact, we had a lot of it last week with the portal. And when we have that nostalgia, we have that understanding of old past experiences or memories that we've had, maybe with people that we know aren't serving us, but we are fond of the memories we had with them, or maybe we're still kind of holding on to elements of the past that we felt like maybe were more comfortable to us than what our experience is now. And so when we feel that sense of nostalgia, and sometimes it tethers us to the past, we also want to use our sense of hope to remind us that the past is the past. We're never really going to get those moments back. We're never going to have that same energy, that same feeling, that same combination of emotions, mentality, and environment again, because it was very specific to that moment, right? Or that phase in your life. So you're never really going to have that back, and that's okay. A lot of us are so connected to that nostalgia and sometimes even regret because we want to have those moments, those fond memories back. But it's actually so much better to be able to reflect on those in a positive, loving way without feeling a yearning to attach, so that we can have the hope and excitement to bring similar experiences into our future and into our present moment, giving us that hope that we can recreate energy like it. Not energy exactly the same as it, but energy that will still give us the new version of ourselves, different from who we were in the past, the same kind of satisfaction and fulfillment. And that's really what our hearts are yearning for when we kind of reflect back on those old memories. So using hope as a forward momentum emotion to bring in more of the energies and excitement and enthusiasm of the present moment and future moments that you are going to create from your awareness of what you love about your past and maybe what you don't love about your past, right? All of that closing from the portal is allowing us to enter even more hope and more ability to create from that place. So I encourage you to reflect on that for this rest of this month and really feel into what your hope feels like. What are you hopeful for? What are you inspiring? What are you inspired by? What are you aspiring towards? What are you feeling as in regards to what you want for yourself and what you're wanting to bring into your life for the remainder of this year? Because that is going to allow you to feel hopeful and connected to the heart center and connected to the ability to create what you want. Okay, so let's get into the spirit messages. These are the messages that I received from meditations and deliberate conscious awareness of my spirit guides' information through signs and synchronicities, reading the language of spirit, speaking the language of spirit in regards to these weekly energy updates. I'm having tongue twisting things today. I was in such a deep meditation that I was like kind of in this weird zone where I wasn't really focused on my speaking. So now it's like I'm learning how to speak again in front of you guys. So thank you for loving me through that. And if you know what I'm talking about, if you ever get in deep meditation and you kind of get zenned out and you have a little hard time with your words afterwards, that's completely normal. So just know that it's part of your ability to go deep and kind of disconnect from your mind for a moment. And when you do, the words don't come out as easily until you kind of get back in the swing of it. So there's that, okay? Let's see who's here. Let's check in with everybody and see how everybody's doing. All right, we've got Julia here. Hello. Jaden, my little brother's here. What's up, little bro? Everybody say hi to my little bro. Leslie's here. Hi, sister. Hi, Vibers. Sending you lots of love from Florida. Beautiful. Lindsay's here. Oh, she's never made it live, but excited to be here. So happy that you're here, Lindsay. So excited to see you. And it's gaming time is here. Hello. Hi. Linda Lacey is here. Hello, Linda. Rachel is here. Hello. Nice to be here. Always on the rewatch, but glad to be with you live time. Rissa, so excited that you're live with us as well, Rachel. And so excited to see you as well, Marie. Good afternoon. Blessings to you and everyone. Yes, blessings to you as well. And Eric is here as well. Josephine is here. Linda Lacey says, Rissa, I shared your 999 portal post to Greg Braden Wall. People loved it. Oh, thank you so much. That means the world to me. And Shaniqua's here. Hello, beautiful souls. And it's gaming time is Jaden's friend. Hey, Jaden's friend. Good to meet you, love. It's so cool to see you guys here and joining us. Nicole is here. Aloha from Hawaii. Hello. Kiwi's here. Hi, Kiwi. Good to see you. Sanji's here. Hello. And who else? Who else? I think that's everybody. Serena. Oh, there's Serena as well. Hello, Serena. Good to see you. And Varinia, sending you love and light. Thank you, love. So excited to have you all here. We're at 20 viewers now. Super exciting. So let's go ahead and get into these spirit messages of this week. 9:15 to 9:22, all of the energy of this week for us to tap into to understand more about ourselves, more about our spirit, more about our life. The first thing that I picked up on when I tapped into this week was that we're kind of burning old bridges in a positive way. This is a reflection of the 999 portal, allowing us to close doors to things that we know aren't serving us, situations that aren't really good for us or aren't really making us happy or making us feel satisfied and fulfilled. That is really the theme of this week. So whatever we need to bring in or release to give us satisfaction and fulfillment, that's what we're doing this week as opposed to last week. So with the last week's 999 portal and all of the release and closure, we're also burning old bridges in a positive way, really kind of finally letting go of people, places, experiences, environments that we have clung to that really aren't doing us any service or any good energy. This now will never be the old. So that is something that I was just talking about, where we're realizing that this present moment, this now moment right here, is never going to be the same as any moment in the past. And so when we cling to the past, we always seem to want to recreate the elements of it. We want to find ways to make the old now and bring the past into the now. But when we think about that, it really doesn't make much sense to do that, because when we think about that in a linear perspective and in an energetic perspective, something that's already happened to us, why would we want to bring that into our present moment? Really what we're doing in that case is we're actually bringing our present moment back to the old. We're not really able to bring the old up. So we're really allowing ourselves to regress backwards into old belief systems, old behaviors, old emotions that we really know aren't good for us or that weren't really meant for us to experience now. Even if they might have been great memories of the past or great experience of the past, you've evolved, you've moved forward, you have created a new energy in your being and a new body almost. I mean, we literally recreate our bodies in like rapid speed, like our skin, you know, we have new skin like every day. That's how much skin we like shed just in daily life. So if our skin is replenishing like that, then our bodies are, right, and our spirit and our energy is. And so we don't want to bring our now moment into the past, and we don't want to bring our past into the now. Instead, we want to just appreciate what the past has done for us and move forward. So allowing that now to be the now and not to be any element of the old is allowing us to accept that it is gone. The old memories and the old experiences, just accept that that has passed, but that you can still reflect on it if it feels good, but not yearn for that energy to be here or to be in your future, to come back, because that's going to make you fall back into old things. And that way you can be excited to make new memories, to make new energy, to make a new version of what you maybe loved in the past, but for your present energy now, that new version of you now is going to experience something completely different that can be equally satisfying, equally exciting, and equally activating if you allow yourself to move forward into it and not hold on to the past. So any past relationships or work environments or perceptions or energies or even just physical attributes, you know, when you age or when you mature, when you kind of think of, oh, I wish I was like that, or I wish my body could do that like it did back then, or I wish I was more this way like I was back then, we're really doing ourselves a disservice, because we want to really love ourselves and who we are now and how we have evolved, and start to really be excited about who we are going to become and who we are becoming as we process through our life. So really allowing ourselves to burn the old bridges on in a positive way is really important for us. Another spirit message that I got is that because of the 999 portal last week and the closing of doors, the completions of the energy of the 9-month and the wisdom of 9, like we talked about last week, we're also going to have maybe some fears come up, even phobias this week, and even some of that last week as well. This is not to frighten you or make you feel, less powerful or bring you down. These fears are coming up to really give you opportunities to face them, to give you opportunities to really see how strong you are by kind of talking yourself down from certain fears that you know are irrational or just not really serving you. So these fears that may come up this week are encouraging you to face them before the end of the year. That allows you to really clear that energy and evolve fully into a new level of bravery for 2020 and confidence and courage as well. And so it's important also that with this understanding, we're not reckless with our facing of our fears, that we're very mindful of our facing of our fears, because sometimes, we know we have a phobia. Maybe we have a fear of the dark, right? Or maybe we have a fear of, snakes or something, right? So either way, whatever phobia or fear we have that's coming up, if you know that you need to face that fear, I'm not encouraging you to be reckless and like go out into the desert where there's a bunch of rattlesnakes and like spend the night and just try to like live there. Like that's reckless, right? So not doing something like that, but being mindful. How can you start to face your fears? Can you go to a pet store and start to look at the snakes and start to study them? Can you research about snakes and understand more about them so that you can get more understanding and information about what they do and why they do it? And that way you can kind of bring some rationality to your understanding of your fear and maybe kind of counterbalance that with knowledge, right? Because knowledge is power, and sometimes that knowledge can allow us to not be afraid. If we understand maybe why the snake hisses or why the snake rattles, then we realize it's a protective thing, and we feel like more safe when we hear that sound because we know that that's a warning for us to move away from the snake, or that the snake is letting us know it's there, which is actually really helpful to whatever fear we have, right? So that we can react instead of being surprised, right? So these kind of things are really important, to not recklessly face your fear, because that can be traumatic and that could be damaging. But if you can find ways to be mindful and start to subtly connect with that fear and subtly face it and subtly start to reduce the fear response and encourage a stronger, more confident, more courageous response by just educating yourself and desensitizing yourself from what you're usually fearing, taking a step further every day and just trying to face that fear a little bit more per your comfort zone, and just trying to push yourself a little bit to that envelope, that edge of comfort, so that you can really kind of keep progressing in that way. So any fears that come up, this includes fears in relationships, fears in work environment, fears of failure, fears of success, just encouraging you to face them before the end of the year. Do journaling about it, to really talk to people who you know don't have that fear and see how they can help you kind of rewire your brain into responding differently to whatever it is that you're fearful of. So be mindful in that facing of the fears. Now, also in response to this week's energy, I'm also getting to fall in love with the present moment. We talked a little bit about this when we were talking about not holding on to the past, but we want to really let ourselves fall in love with the present moment, which will allow us to really fully let go of the past and also not cling to the future. We're in that place of the end of the year right now, which means that a lot of people get very anxious for 2020. They get really encouraged to maybe think about that and start planning their new year out. But if we do that a little too early, then we're not actually soaking up all the goodness of the end of the year. We're not really completing the end of the year fully, and we're not giving ourselves enough time to integrate all processes of the year. Remember, we don't want to force a cycle or rush a cycle. Cycles are natural, and they are helping to keep the universe flowing in the way it does, keeping everything harmonious in your life and in your mind and in your body and in your spirit. So if you try to rush a cycle or you try to alter it in some way when it's a natural cycle, you're going to have some kind of kickback, and it's going to be a little chaotic, a little hectic, and there's going to be some disharmonies and disconnects that happen. So try not to rush too forward into the new year, knowing that we are towards the end of the year. don't get too anxious about planning your next year. Still stay present here in this moment and really soak up what you need to enjoy this harvest season. We just had the harvest moon, the full moon, really reaping the benefits of all the seeds we sowed and all of the things that we really applied in our life this year. We want to soak all that in. We want to enjoy it. We want to integrate it. We want to relax and retreat inward and feel that integration of energy and that activation. So allow yourself to fall in love with the present moment. Find so many things that you can be grateful for right here, right now. Even if you're going through something difficult, there's always something to be grateful for. There's always something to see in a beautiful way. There's always something to fall in love with if you choose to see it, if you choose to deliberately focus on it and create it as well. So let yourself fall in love with the present moment. This in itself is an embodiment of alchemy. That's the next spirit message for this week, that we are embodying a more alchemical response. Alchemy, if you don't know, means that you are turning lead or some kind of metal that is not really fully valuable or not really valued at a high price, and you're turning it into gold. And alchemists do this, and they've been doing this for eons of time, decades and centuries. And there's a lot of little secret societies of alchemists out there that are training people how to do this. But it's a physical experience, yes, where you're turning a lower vibration metal into like gold, but it's also a physical situation. It's also a spiritual energy. It's also an emotional energy. It's also a mental energy. Alchemy is not just physical, okay? So allow yourselves to really reflect on the alchemy in your life, the parts of your life that maybe started out in the beginning of the year really kind of heavy or incomplete or disconnected, and notice how they've changed, how they've transformed into something more abundant, more successful, more satisfying, more fulfilling, more positive, right? That is alchemy, whether it be belief systems, whether it be an emotional response to certain thing, whether it be your ego or your shadow side kicking in, whether it be just a goal that you had or a confidence that you didn't have or an insecurity, and you've changed it into something better. You've changed it into something more valuable for yourself. You've changed it into abundance. That is you exercising the embodiment of alchemy in your life. And when you recognize the ways in which you've done it, even when you've transformed a seemingly negative situation or a issue or problem into a blessing or a positive experience, then you're also embodying alchemy. So this week we're really learning how to embody alchemy, and we're really learning how to be excited about it and to start to gain traction in understanding the process of alchemy and how we do it naturally for ourselves, uniquely for ourselves, because everybody exercises alchemy in a different way in their life. And we can learn a lot from each other when we talk about the ways in which we have alchemized certain situations or relationships or experiences in our life or belief systems, right? So moving on with this embodiment of alchemy, the next spirit message that I received is that we are feeling a lot of activations this week. We're integrating the energy of the 999 portal, which by the way is still going on until 9/18, 9/19. And so we're going to feel more of that energy throughout this next week, which I'll talk about in just a second. And then we're also integrating all of the energies of that full moon in Pisces. And we have a fall equinox starting this week, moving forward this week on the 21st to the 23rd, which is going into next week as well. We're going to feel a lot of this energy of the shift of the season. So we're integrating a ton of energy. We're receiving a ton of energy. We're connecting with the cosmic self. We're connecting with our multidimensional self. We're connecting with the earth, the stars, the moon, the seasons, the elements, our spirit, our higher self, our spirit guides. We're connecting with all of it, plus our mind, body, and soul, right? So we're feeling all of this energy activation, and what that translates as is Merkaba activations. And if you don't remember what a Merkaba is, it's the chariot of our energy. It's the electromagnetic field that is around us that we can continue to develop and charge every day, that will allow us to feel even more protected in our energy and even more capable of moving our energy where it needs to be and where it needs to go. Then we're also having chakra activations, where different parts of our energy vortexes and different parts of our energetic alignment are really kind of coming to the forefront, and they're really starting to be charged up and really express themselves more. A lot of people feeling the third eye and crown chakra activations, even throat chakra activations for some people where their expression is getting more balanced or more intuitive. Solar plexus activations is another chakra. That power, that soul power, that ability to move forward, that confidence, that bravery. And the root chakra as well, our connection to earth, our connection to who we are, our connection to our individuality and our uniqueness. Don't be afraid to be yourself, right? Don't be afraid to stand in your power. Don't be afraid to speak up for yourself. Don't be afraid to trust your intuition and let it guide you, right? These are just some of the chakra activations that many of us are experiencing. And some of you are experiencing it in your dreams, in your meditations, or just in your waking life where you're just walking around and you're just starting to feel these sensations, these pulsations, these vibrations in your body that are starting to wake up and show you that your chakras are awake and they're active. And then we're also feeling into some DNA activations where we literally can feel our bodies changing. We're growing, of course, always. We're evolving always in different phases of our life, but we're also feeling this sense of new awareness in our body, new energy in our body, new expression of our body, and new desire to move and to let energy flow and enjoy that feeling in our body. And that's really proof of these DNA activations that allow us to really elevate into a new form of human being, into a new elevated awareness. When we change our mind, when we become more positive thinking, when we become more multidimensional in our awareness, when we become more conscious of ourselves and those around us, when we start to speak the language of energy, we literally change our vibration so much so that our DNA responds, our body responds. We start to have the body that we've always wanted. We start to feel the way we've always wanted to feel. The pain that was held in our body starts to fade away. We start to be more flexible, more capable, more strong, and more present. See? So all of these things are a reflection of the DNA shift in our body that comes in response to the way we change our mind. When we change our mind, our body follows, right? So allowing ourselves to really feel into that, and you can feel into more of that DNA activation and any of the activations actually through breath, through breathing deeply. Just breathing deeply, allowing yourself to feel into that flow of breath, your natural flow of breath, and allowing yourself to continue using that breath as a way to feel into different parts of your body, to wake up different parts of your energy, to wake up your chakras, to wake up your body, to wake up your mind and your third eye. These are ways in which we can feel that energy flow even more, and that will allow us to notice those activations as well. We also want to make sure we're grounding and clearing this week because of all of those interactions and integrations and activations, all the Asians. So we want to ground and clear, which means that we really want to be breathing up the spine and down the spine with the exhale, breathing up the spine with the inhale, and down the spine with the exhale. And when you breathe down the spine with the exhale, you want to breathe all the way into Mother Earth. You want to imagine your energy flowing down the spine and into the core of Earth. When you connect with the core of Earth, that means that you're grounded into Earth. That means that your energy is really connected to this physical plane, and that it's allowing you to feel stable and secure on this planet, which is allowing you also to feel stable and secure in your physical body, which is an extension of this planet, an extension of source as well, God, your higher power. But our bodies, our physical bodies, are the flesh, and that is more connected to our earth perception, our vessel here on earth. Our spirit inside of that is our connection to source, to God, to our higher power. And then we want to really allow that energy and that connection to source to clear any tension, any distractions, any interactions that didn't feel good from your day or your week, clearing it by breathing and feeling that toxic or heavy energy falling down the spine and rooting into the earth. Because when we send that energy into the earth, when we ground and then clear our energy down through the earth, we're allowing the earth to be the alchemist of our experience. The earth will literally take, the toxic energy and turn it into new life and turn it into good things, turn it into positivity. We see it just in the basic understanding of planting, right? We use fertilizer, we use manure, right? And we put it into the earth and we plant seeds and manure. And then we watch the seeds grow into beautiful plants, beautiful flowers, beautiful fruits, right? It's new life. It becomes something different. It alchemizes that manure into, and that seed into something different. And so you need that energy to be cleared into the earth, and that helps the earth do its work to cycle through. So grounding and clearing every day or in between certain experiences can really help you feel into those DNA activations, Merkaba activations, chakra activations, and also let you feel more just clear and confident and capable of moving through your day. This allows your body, mind, and heart to wake up this week as well. So we're going to feel a lot of that. We're going to feel our mind kind of activate in a new way. We're going to feel our heart activate in a new way. And we're going to feel our body activate in a new way with all of the integrations of the energy of last week as well. So integrating that full moon energy, that 999 portal energy, knowing that it won't fully integrate all the way until the end of the 999 portal, which is the 18th and the 19th. The 999 portal started on the 9th, and then it's lasting 9 days until the 18th, which will be the last day of the activation of that portal. And then the 19th will be the day where we're really finally feeling the completion of that portal. So it really is kind of ending on the 19th. But we're going to feel that integration starting on the 19th as well. Integration of all of the full moon energy, integration of all of the 999 portal, integration into accepting your completions, accepting the closures, accepting the endings of things, allowing yourself to feel very satisfied and secure and wise, and the awareness of all of that as well. And let's see. So don't run from, these are just a couple little suggestions, encouragements for the integration of this energy this week. Don't run from any endings, because if you run from endings, you're only going to prolong the completion process and it's not going to be serving you. Running from endings is just as much of a distraction of the present moment than holding on to the past or the future. You don't want to run from what your spirit's trying to do, or you don't want to run from what your intuition is leading you in, or what your life is just naturally flowing into. Knowing that it's all supposed to happen and it's all divinely guided allows you to accept any endings and just face them fully. Don't ignore signs or messages or realizations, any of those aha moments of, oh, this is why it is, or this is how it is now, or this is what's changed and transformed within me or outside of myself. Don't ignore any of those signs. Don't ignore any of those repeated number signs. Don't ignore any of those coincidences that just can't be explained, because there's messages there, there's reasons there, there's reasons why you're having those right place at the right time experiences, or even wrong place at the wrong time experiences, because those are synchronicities too. Those are signs too. Just as much as there are signs to show you that you are in alignment, there are signs to show you that you're not in alignment. So if you're experiencing over and over again the same kind of disappointment, or the same kind of frustration, or the same kind of mishap or issue or problem, then that's a sign and synchronicity you don't want to ignore, right? It's easier to kind of ignore those kind of signs because we don't want to face them. We don't want to admit that maybe we're doing something wrong, or that we're not really fully in our alignment of our spirit, or we're ignoring something about ourselves. But it's important to make sure we don't get into that trap of ignoring those, because those are the most powerful and necessary lessons and signs that will help shift us into alignment, or into a more recognized place of alignment. These downloads are also ensuring that we have a successful year. So any of those signs and synchronicities, any of those realizations or downloads of your consciousness, really understanding certain things or finding new wisdom, those are all ensuring that we have a successful end of the year. So that's also why we don't want to ignore those things, because if in order to have a successful end of the year, we have to really finish out the lessons we're being given, and we got to finish out what we're experiencing. We can't try to avoid it. It's only going to prolong the process, okay? All right, so those are all the spirit messages, you guys. I want to just check in with all of you and see how you're doing before we go into astrology, and then we will see what else we want to do. Linda says, I'm excited to hear what this collective has for us today. She says, that makes complete sense regarding recreating the past. Thank you for reminding us to enjoy our now bliss. Absolutely. And let's see. Oh, Linda shared a story. Let's see what she said. She said, true story. I was having tea with an ex-coworker, hadn't seen since leaving my job, when a huge spider was on my arm, climbing down, not up, meaning it had been on my hair. Or she said, I freaked out, screamed, and didn't know when it had gone after I freaked, where it had gone after I freaked. Before I could react, my coworker killed the spider. My heart broke. I didn't want to die. It bothered me all week. There's a deeper message here. Interesting, as I'm led to this deeper knowledge. Yes, and spiders are very sacred animals, so I understand, and insects, and I understand why you felt a little sadness with that. And just that ending, that completion, that kind of ending of that spider's existence here, can be hard, and all endings can be hard, any endings. And seeing somebody else's ending, seeing somebody else go through something, or seeing somebody else, experience loss or grief can be really hard for us empaths. And so it's important for us to understand how to self-care as well, making sure that you're recharging your energy, taking some time alone to retreat and give yourself love and nurturance when you're also kind of receiving the emotional understandings, or you're feeling into that you're relating to somebody's emotional experience through their loss or their endings or their closures, right? So super important to also be aware of. Thank you. All right. Kiwi says, keep seeing the Shokugei symbol. Yes, that's a really great healing symbol, the Reiki Shokugei symbol. I've also been seeing a lot of that as well. That's really good healing for the emotional body, and also really good healing for the physical body too. Mental, physical, spiritual, really. And the Shokugei is a really great energy to just meditate on. You can kind of look up that symbol and just meditate on it. You can even imagine yourself drawing the symbol as well. It can be really helpful, and it can integrate that energy. Hedwig is here as well. Hello, Soul family. Didn't get the notification. Sorry I'm late. That's okay, Hedwig. Good to see you. Glad to be here again. Great messages, she said. Thank you. And Phil's here too. Yeah, I made it in on time. Many blessings to all. Good to see you as well. He said, I made a really loving video last night, sort of channeling my higher self. Wonderful. So yes, a lot of us are getting those activations and channeling. So if you haven't channeled before, if you just are starting, then congratulations to that for receiving that activation and starting to tap into that energy. It's also important when you're channeling to also know, as you start to get interested and eager and kind of comfortable with your channeling of your higher self and of your source energy, to really allow yourself to start to discern what messages are for me and what messages are for others, because you will get an understanding of that from your higher self. So make sure to ask your higher self those things too, because that can be really important for you to have for yourself or share with others. So it's great that you did that. So good job. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into the astrology messages of this week before we pull cards. The first astrological event is on Tuesday. It is September 17th. If you don't know, then the 17th number, the number 17, is an internal life number or numerological significance. So it's all about really feeling into your expansion of self, your ability to be immortal, your ability to know that your spirit is eternal, that maybe your body will die one day, but your spirit will always live on, allowing you to really sink into this present moment. Because when we recognize that, we have eternal life and we have eternal existence here, we are able to kind of take pressure off of trying to get somewhere by a certain time or trying to hold on to the past, because we know that we have so much time. We have so much time available to us and so much space available to us, because we are time and space if you really get down to it. So be present, be yourself, live in your truth. That's what Tuesday is all about. We're really going to feel into a lot of that legacy as well, recognizing kind of how we want to be remembered, how we want to be celebrated, how we want to be understood in this life and in this eternal existence as well, and just really allowing ourselves to feel confident in that. In astrology, Venus is opposite Chiron on Tuesday, which allows us to feel into some oppositions of romance and love, allowing us to feel healing love of Chiron, and then allowing us to feel romantic love of Venus, and seeing how they kind of oppose each other, noticing, what type of love are you receiving that is healing in your life, and what type of type of love are you receiving that is romantic? And is the romantic love also healing you, or is it counterproductive to your healing love? Are they fighting, or are they connecting and merging and harmonious? Really allowing yourselves to notice healing love versus romantic love in your life and how they are coming together, because you really do want both. You really do want to have that energy of healing always there, that energy of nurturance, that energy of uplifting energy and empowerment. And you also want to have that romance, that passion, that intimacy, that connection. But you don't want to have them separate from each other forever. You really want to have them balanced in your life. And sometimes your romantic relationship might not be as healing as maybe your family relationships are, and that's okay. As long as you're having them, as long as you're having both in your life, as long as you're having balance of that and you're really noticing how both come through for you, then that's okay. But you also want to make sure that that's okay for you too, because everybody has a different preference. Some people really want their romantic love to also be a healing love. If that's one of your kind of requirements, then also make sure you're reflecting on that. This is going to also allow us overall to be more engaged intimately with ourselves and with others, really just diving deep into layers of love and understanding who we are in love and how we are in love and how we evolve in that way. So that's for Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, the very next day, Saturn goes direct. We've been in a Saturn retrograde for quite some time, which is why all these tough love lessons have been coming up for us, where we've really had to push through a lot of walls or bumps in the road or things that are really challenging us to gain new skills and new awareness and new talents that help us evolve and endure certain things and overcome certain things that we may not have been able to before. So Saturn goes direct on the 18th in 13 degrees, at 13 degrees, which is really great. A lot of that divine feminine number coming back from our Friday the 13th conversation last week. And we have this really great energy of intuition with this Saturn going direct, allowing us to really feel intuitively connected to the tough love lessons that we've had, understanding why those things happened, why maybe many disappointments happened, or many kind of frustrations or unexpected changes or shifts or heaviness happened in our life, these tough lessons, and they're lightening up. Those tough lessons are really lightening up because we're becoming aware of what they were there for and why, and we're starting to integrate the solution into our life and into our body. And the 999 portal also ends on the 18th on Wednesday. So we're going to also feel a relief from that 9-9 portal of that completion and that kind of energy of really deep reflection and releasing of the old and clearing and healing. All of that is going to lighten up as well, because that 999 portal is going to be ending that last day of activation. So that is going to be a really nice celebration of wisdom, a wonderful celebration of enlightenment as well. Freedom and success is going to flow into our life, and we're going to feel a lot less restriction in every part of our experience on Wednesday. So that's something to really look forward to and enjoy on Wednesday, and really dive deep in, allowing yourself to just feel excited and happy and blissful in that. Then on Thursday, the 19th of September, 919, another powerful 9 number, full completion of the 9-9 portal on that day, where we start to integrate all of our awareness. We start to integrate and fully start to use the activations that we've received from that portal and from the full moon, allowing us to feel more goal-oriented, powerful, strong, passionate, action and active, momentous, and allowing us to trust our intuition, way more intuitive as well. With that, we also have an expansion of that energy, an amplification of that energy with the Mars trining Pluto on that day. Pluto is all about really clearing away things as well and ending things as well, which is great that we are feeling that full completion with the 9-9 portal that day. And Mars and Pluto both rule Scorpio, so if you're a Scorpio, you're going to feel these energies even more intensely, but it's going to allow you, like I said, to feel that sense of power and goal-oriented energy and passion and that intuitive flow within you. So that's going to be a really great day to feel fully completed in that energy. And then the last astrological highlight of this week is Saturday, the 21st. That is 9/21. And of course, we know in numerologically, the 2 and 1 equals 3, which allows us to feel harmony. 3 goes into 9 3 times, so we're feeling a lot of 3s there, feeling deep harmony with our completions from everything that we've realized and everything we've kind of settled into and accepted. We also have that feeling of highest excitement exploration as well on this day. With Jupiter squaring Neptune, we're allowing ourselves to feel soul freedom. We're feeling inner mystic exploration as well. We're allowing ourselves not to deny or ignore our intuition. So important not to ignore your intuition this week, allowing it to be the inspiration for your highest excitement so you can follow your highest excitement. So really diving into that feeling of soul freedom on every level on the 21st of Saturday, which is also the beginning of the fall equinox energy starting to kick up. So we're going to feel a lot of that energy of kind of harvest of what we've experienced and what we've sown in our lives this year, kind of harvest of the labor that we've given this year, wisdom, more of that completion energy, accomplishments really being fully aware of and received during the fall equinox energy, the ability to rest and retreat as well, and the clearing and cleansing energy of the fall equinox also. I'm going to go into the fall equinox a lot more in detail for next week's reading, since we're going to technically have our fall equinox this year on the 23rd, which is next Monday. So we'll get into more of that then, but that at least gives you a little idea of what our fall equinox energy is going to look like. All right, I'm going to ring the crystal bell real quick for us to just take a couple of deep breaths, meditative breaths, before I pull these 3 cards for a summary of this session. So why don't we all close our eyes as a collective, all of us here, 28 of us today. How great, wonderful number. Let us all close our eyes for a moment, take a nice deep breath in. Big breath out. Another deep breath in. Big breath out to relax, releasing any tension, any distraction, any energy that needs to be released from that 999 portal. Another deep breath in, opening up to all your spirit guides messages with the cards soon. Sending all your energy with the sound of the crystal bowl to spirit to respond to us with the exhale. So if you don't know, as you breathe, you can kind of wake yourself back up here before I pull the cards. If you don't know, the crystal bowl is really great for connecting us to our vibration of our body and also getting our body in alignment to higher vibration. So if you're feeling like stagnant or stuck in your body, or even in your mind and heart as well, the crystal bowl really allows the tension and energy to reharmonize in our body so that we can clear the tension and find kind of this new vibratory bliss. So I'm glad you love the singing bowl, Linda. Thank you. I just got pulled to do that, so I just felt like it was time to do that. All right, so let's pull a couple cards for the end of the week, and then we'll be pretty much done for this reading. I'll, of course, give you a couple of announcements as well that I have coming up. Lots of exciting things this week and to come. But before that, let's pull these cards. So these are our angel cards, angel messages. I've got some beautiful cards here. Right now, I'm going to be pulling from the Angels of Atlantis deck, allowing us to connect to the beginning of the week. Let's just continue breathing in our own meditative way as a collective, welcoming in a message for the beginning of the week, for guidance for all of us. Asking your spirit to speak to you and how it's meant to. Perfect. First card came up really easily. Let's do the middle of the week card with the Healing with the Angels deck, knowing that we have some healing to come on, Tuesday or Wednesday with that love frequency. I believe it was Tuesday. So allowing ourselves to just breathe here for a moment. Middle of the week card coming up for us. Some of you must be asking questions or sending energy into these cards, because I know whenever they feel extra energy, they take their time to make sure they pick the right card, and that one came up good too. Okay, next card, end of the week card. The end of the week from the Healing Spirit Messages deck. Breathing deeply and just allowing the card to come up for the end of the week to guide us and let us understand what we need to focus on. There it is. Okay. Real quick, just a couple of little announcements. This week I have a Channel and Chill event in Scottsdale, Arizona at Abundance Space on the 21st on Saturday, which is that first introduction of the fall equinox energy as well. So it's a powerful day to receive spirit messages from for the collective and from source and the spirit guides who want to assist us in giving us some awareness and wisdoms for the fall equinox and really just anything we might be going through. So if you're in Arizona, definitely join me at Abundance Space on the 21st for a Channel and Chill event. And then I also have a fall equinox gathering that I'm going to be hosting online. So for those of you who are not in Arizona and can't come to my physical events, next Monday, not this Monday, but next Monday, the 23rd, I'm going to be hosting a live Zoom collective conference meeting where we're going to be talking about the fall equinox energy, really reflecting on our entire year, allowing ourselves to process whatever we need to process together and kind of build off of each other in awareness and intuition and wisdom so that we can really have a fully successful end of the year and we can really kind of soak in all of the benefits of this fall equinox and this ending of the year energy that we're in now. So if you're interested in really doing some collective processing and communication with others of like-minded energy, discussing kind of how your year went and how you're moving forward and what you want to really see in the last part of your year, we're going to be doing that together on the 23rd. If you're interested in that, for tickets, it's only going to be $11 entry, and you will be able to sign up through me on Instagram at readingsbyrissa, or you can email me directly now or later whenever you'd like to, readingsbyrissa@gmail.com, to secure your spot in that lovely video phone chat. You'll be able to choose whether you want to be seen on video or whether you just want to stick with phone and just talk or listen. It's really up to you, but just kind of being there to be able to collectively connect to each other and understand kind of more about the fall equinox in our lives through our connection with each other. So that's going to be a really fun fall equinox event on the 23rd on Monday, and that's going to be at, what did I say? I think it's at, I wrote it down. Let me see. I can't read my notes. What time did I say I'm doing this at? Oh, I didn't write it down. I thought I wrote it down. We are going to do it at 6:30, or I'm sorry, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. That's what it was. 7:30 p.m. Central Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday the 23rd for the fall equinox gathering. And then you guys, of course, I have my Belize retreat in October 26th. It's only 6 weeks away, okay? And we're going to Belize, Corazal, Belize, in Central America to tap into our intuition, to develop our intuition further, and to also connect to the cosmos, connect to ourselves. We have a new moon that week as well, which we're going to be doing a new moon and cacao ceremony. There's going to be daily meditation and yoga, guided meditation by me, and classes to help dive you deep into your intuition. And also, of course, we're going to be on the beautiful coast of Belize, feeling into the crystal clear blue waters, the beautiful jungle atmosphere, and the ancient Mayan lands that we will be standing atop of and connecting energetically with. So if you're interested in a deep retreat for yourself, it's some time alone, some time to reflect, or even some time with your partner or your friend or your coworker or whoever it is, your family member that really wants to dive into your spirit together and allow yourself to get that time of rest and relaxation to focus on yourself, to personally develop, to spiritually develop, then definitely message me, readingsbyrissa@gmail.com, for the information. I also posted a video about it on my page here and in the community page as well. So those are my announcements. Just felt like getting them out of the way now so that we can tap into these beautiful cards. So let's do it. Our first card of the week, the Angels of Atlantis deck, we have Earth Force. Ooh. So feeling into the beginning of the week with this card, what we're really focusing on is our body, our connection to our body, because our body is the, oh, my light went weird. Our body is the expression of our physical energy. It is the ability to feel into our vessel, our physical vessel. It is our physical vessel, right? That's our body, right? So earth force is our physical body, and we feel the earth force. We feel the energy of the earth. We feel Mother Earth Gaia's roots connecting to our roots. We feel this sense of connection of who we are to the earth, and we want to use that energy of the earth to really just bring us into more structure, more stability, more confidence, more individuality, more independence, more abundance, okay? So we're using that earth force to do so, and we really want to use our heart, because this is a heart chakra one, really encouraging us to open our heart to the earth and to our awareness of earth, to Mother Earth, nature, loving our animals, loving our insects, loving our place on this earth in response and in regards to that connection of the cycle of life and the circle of life, and really letting ourselves feel that deep heart connection to earth and earth force. That's going to help us propel into more of that integration of those activations as well, because when we're really in that activated state energetically from the 999 portal or the full moon, or the fall equinox, any of those things, we tend to be so spiritually activated that we can't feel it as much in our body, and sometimes we have some weird physiological symptoms where maybe we have some upset stomachs, or we have some really weird sleep patterns, we have some kind of trembling or tension in our body. That is because we're not fully grounded into our body, and we're receiving all these activations more on a spiritual level, but we're not able to fully receive them physically. And when we don't receive them physically all the way, it kind of causes these imbalances, or just these kind of like discomforts for a little bit. So by grounding, like we talked about, grounding your energy into the earth and really connecting with earth and sending any energy that just isn't comfortable into the earth so that it can be transmuted. We're connecting with the earth force energy in that way. That's how we're doing it. And it's allowing us to feel more clean and clear and more connected to the activations, and able to receive the activations and integrate the activations that we have from our spirit and from source, okay? So Archangel Raphael with that card, Earth Force, allowing us to connect, ground, and clear to the earth. All right, middle of the week card from our Healing with the Angels deck, another green card, Ideas and Inspirations. Really great card, letting us know that in these integrations that we're going to be having from all the energy of last week, we are heightened in our ideas, in our inspiration, in our imagination. We are starting to become more intuitive, which allows us to be more playful. It allows us to see the language of spirit and feel it and speak it. And it allows us to really use it to create new things. And so in the middle of the week, when we're feeling that kind of bliss of connection and that celebration of all of the things that we have overcome and really reviewed and become aware of, we're going to really have this kind of desire, this urge to create from these new ideas and inspirations that we gain from it. So don't ignore those ideas and inspirations. They're divinely guided and given to you. So let yourself start to ground those in as well, and help them to evolve and become physical through making them real, making them happen, putting them into fruition. Oh my gosh, you guys, another green card. This is so cool. Reach out, reach out. So we have 3 cards with green energy, which means that our heart chakra this week is like on 10, on 100 maybe. It's like open, right? So if you're feeling your heart chakra starting to open, if you're feeling more empathic, if you're feeling even more emotional, if you're feeling more compassionate, that means that your intuition is going to be building with that, because when your heart opens, you open up to more awareness and ability to read the language of spirit and to understand it. And also sometimes that means that we can be a little bit more sensitive emotionally than we want to be, or than we're comfortable with. So just know that that's part of heart opening, and that it's okay to just let yourself feel, and to also take moments alone to process those emotions if you need to. And also not to get yourself in environments where there's a lot of emotional energy if you're already feeling emotionally overwhelmed because your heart chakra is opening, because that can give you a very uncomfortable heart chakra opening experience if you keep putting yourselves in overly intense emotional experiences, like people crying together, people, yelling at each other, things like that. And if your heart's opening during those experiences or those environments, you're going to feel all of that energy kind of in your heart space. So you want to really allow yourself to clear that if you do. But you want to also allow your heart to be open, because this is a time for that energy to really help you be successful and fulfilled and satisfied for the rest of the year. And satisfaction in the heart is what allows satisfaction in the mind and the body and the spirit. So it's kind of a gateway to that fulfillment and satisfaction. This end of the week card is reach out, though. So I want to talk about what this means. And the card it says, we know you're reaching out right now for help due to a current situation. Support is as much about the physical act of accepting help where offered as it is about the emotional benefits and learning that it's truly okay to accept support however it's presented to you. So those of you who have been stubborn and not receiving support, or stubborn about asking for help or receiving help that you know you need that's been offered to you, let yourself receive. Let yourself open your heart. Let yourself trust. Let yourself just accept and relax into this heart center awareness that it's okay to need help, to accept help, and to be given help. So let yourself do that, and receive help from your light guides, from your spirit guides, from your source. If you're not feeling able to accept help from others, accept help from your source. But with that, you have to also understand that when you ask for help from your spirit guides, sometimes they give you help through someone else. When you ask, hey, I need this abundance for this because I'm really struggling, spirit guides, help me. And then 2 days later, your friend says, hey, something told me to give you this $100 or something. I've got it. Here you go. Pay me back when you can. Don't deny it, because that's your spirit guides bringing forth the money that you need through somebody else. Your spirit guides aren't here in this physical world. They're not going to just give you some cash in your pocket. They're not just going to give you some cash in your hand after the meditation, like, here you go, because they're not physical. They're not here. They've got to do that through someone else that is physical so that you can get it. So allow yourself to receive that help that you've asked for, because it's incredibly important to do. And it will allow you to feel more connected to your satisfaction and fulfillment, because you'll realize that it's okay to ask for help sometimes. It's okay to receive it. And it doesn't mean that you're a failure, or that you're using someone for a crutch. It doesn't mean that, unless you're overly abusing that. But if it's offered to you and you know that you have no other option, and you know you've asked and prayed for that help, then receive it, accept it, let it happen, let it be, and let your heart be excited and loving and fulfilled and feel that love, because that's what your spirit wants you to feel. Okay? So, earth force energy, ground and clear any energy that doesn't serve you into the earth so it can be renewed and rebirthed in a new way. Let your ideas and inspirations flow for you in that integration of all the energy of last week. And then reach out for the help that you need and receive it. Don't be afraid to receive it, okay? My color of my screen keeps changing when I put the cards up. I don't know why. I don't know if it's showing like that to you guys. Who knows? But I think it's just like a light thing with the cards. But anyway, yeah, so great to connect with you all. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, and I hope you integrate all that energy of this week. I hope you connect with your spirit. I hope that you feel confident and courageous and brave in facing any fears and releasing anything that doesn't serve you. And I hope that you really feel that internal momentum of inspiration, excitement, exhilaration, creation, energy, and intuition that's coming forth for you this week with all of those activations of the energy. Hopefully I see you at the Channel and Chill on Saturday at Abundance Space in Scottsdale. And if not, then that's okay. I'll be posting some of the highlights, but I'd love for you to come in person, because if you can, you'll be able to ask very personal questions about your life or from your spirit guides, and you can get some really specific information that way. And then also, like I said, that fall equinox event on the 23rd, on Monday, not this Monday, but the next Monday, really connecting as a collective there. if you're interested to be a part of that collective community, talking about the fall equinox and your own personal experience through it, and really gaining some new wisdom on how to move forward for the rest of the year, then definitely tap in with me at readingsbyrissa on Instagram or readingsbyrissa@gmail.com to sign up for only $11. And then if you want a one-on-one personal reading with me, a mediumship, a spiritual counseling, I'm forgetting my readings, past life reading, energy cleansing, cosmic connection reading, if you want to connect to your galactic family, let me know. I will absolutely be here for you. I do this for a living full time. This is all I do. I'm blessed to be living in my purpose, and it's very, very fun and very exciting, and I'm so happy to connect with you in any way that you may need. And then of course also my beautiful 6-day intuitive development thinning of the veil Belize retreat in October 26th to November 1st. Yes, it's the week of Halloween, and yes, that's on purpose. It is when the veil between spirit and the physical world is the thinnest of the year. This is the time where spiritual energy is most active in this world. It's the time when the ETs and the cosmic beings come out to play. It's the time when our angels are right there in front of us, connecting with us so directly that we can see their wings, feel their embrace, and experience their light. So this is a time for you to take some time away from your daily life, away from the stressors, away from the race to get things done, and just give yourself some time to retreat, relax, and connect with Mother Earth, connect to your intuition, and let yourself be in the present moment. So if you're interested in that, definitely reach out. There's only 6 weeks left, so you've got to sign up soon. So please make sure that if you are planning on signing up, that you let me know so that I also make a tally for you. And you can also submit the deposit to the retreat website. So definitely check that out. There is a link there available for you in the community section of this YouTube channel. And you can also message me directly, readingsbyrissa@gmail.com, to get the link. And if you are a client of mine, if you've had a reading with me at any time to where I've asked for your email address and your name, then you probably already have a really great email flyer that I've sent out to all of you about this retreat. So check your little promotions section in your email to make sure that it didn't get lost in that. And it is a full description of everything from my retreat. And you can also get that full description in the link on the community page or on the video that I posted about it. So check me out. I can't wait to see you in Belize, and I can't wait to see you for any of our one-on-one readings that we do, and for more of these lovely readings here on Sundays at 1:11 p.m. Central Time every single week. I am here for you, and I hope to see you next week as well. Bring a couple friends with you next week. Have a couple other friends tune in with you next week. Let's keep this collective energy going. I love you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. We're ending at 66 minutes, which I think is perfect. I love you so much. Peace.